Hi folks. Okay, I got something important I want to talk about today. I want to talk about confusing spiritual practices. Also, I'm just heading off here on retreat with my masterclass, and I got a couple errands to run, so I thought, well, I'll just take you with me. So confusing spiritual practice, what do I mean by that? I mean, when you're learning about meditation and they're telling you to quiet the mind. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't quiet my mind. And some things that I know a lot about mind is that thoughts are continuing, like cars on a highway. And we don't have the power to quiet that. We have the power to move our awareness off of our thoughts and put them somewhere else. For practices where we're working on mantras and we're chanting mantras to get some kind of an internal space, but what does that gonna give us in the long run? What is that bringing or adding to our lives? Or practices where we're using meditation or just our daily practice because maybe at one point we had a glimpse or we had a moment of reality and the veil's cleared, and now we're entirely focused to use our practice to just try and get that back. So there's a whole lot of confusion or misrepresentation or illusions about what we're doing with our practice. And most of this is total crap. If we're meditating primarily for one reason, to access the stillness in the moment. What Eckhart Tolle would say, the deeper dimension of this moment. It's something very real. It's very tangible as your hands in front of your face. And the practice of meditation is to get in relationship with that. Can you find it? Can you find it all the time? It's right here. It's in the room. You're being saturated in it. In this moment, I'm saturated in it. You're saturated in there. It's right there between the words. So your practice of meditation is primarily to access that stillness. That's the reason you're meditating. What am I looking for? Cables. Cables. Lots of cables.
All right.
Thank you.
Not a problem. You have a good one.
You too. So there's a whole lot of illusions and misrepresentations and misunderstandings, confusions. There's a lot of really crappy teachings. And there's a lot of vague ideas. There's also a lot of excellent stuff out there. So the point is, you need to know what's resonating as true for you. That's what this is all going to be about. You have to have some kind of results. And by results, I mean a lot of internal connectivity. I mean a sense of tremendous clarity. I mean some insight about your own personal patterns and insight about how to get clear of them. If you're not fundamentally feeling like, wow, this is so worth it, then it may not be the training for you. Unless, of course, you're just in it for endurance training, which, let's face it, spiritual practice can really be about endurance training. But you're looking for results. I have to come into the library. Shh. I was literally here yesterday looking for this book I'd ordered a few days ago. I was told by the librarian, oh, sometimes it takes a few days. She doesn't check, she doesn't look on the shelves, nothing. I walked out and literally 5 minutes later I got a bing on my phone saying my book was in. So I have to come back today. Ridiculous. The gift of this time and period, this day and age, is that there are so many teachers out there, literally on every corner. Just go online, there's a bazillion teachings. Some of them are total crap. A lot of them are really excellent. The point is, what resonates for you? What is best for you right now? What are you able to digest? What resonates? What makes sense? What brings you to a deeper understanding of the true nature of reality? This is going to change. You're going to evolve. And then you're going to need deeper and richer teachings to evolve along with you. Unless you just want stamina. And then, of course, spiritual practice can absolutely be that for you. You can be just like the librarian in there, just filling space, not doing much of anything. We all know that's exactly what our spiritual practice can look like sometimes. The Dalai Lama talks about practice needs patience, that it would take years and years to understand in any real experiential way because it's so subtle, and just to keep practicing. There are others who say things like, just check in with your practice every 10 years. Is this what you want? Just some long-term stamina training? Which is totally fine. Just don't fool yourself thinking that you're doing something real with your practice time. Don't fool yourself that you're actually healing, that you're actually transforming your relationship with reality and with suffering, that you're actually deeply and honestly inquiring and being aware of what's going on. You're practicing endurance. And sure, that's exactly what the long road is all about. And if that's your goal, cool. I'll talk to you in about 20 years or so. But if that is not your goal, and if what you want is results, then you're gonna have to be profoundly honest about the depth and the insight that you're bringing to your practice, how much you understand, and if the teaching is right for you. And this is the time, this is the age for this. There are so many contemporary teachings. You don't have to rely on obscure, dense canons that were written down 500 or 1,000 years after the master died. This is the time to really maximize your practice. So the question is, are you?